You're looking at two people who have never seen Spider-Man Brand New Day. But that's about to change, because we're about to go see Spider-Man Brand New Day. Could this be the best Spider-Man movie of all time? What do you think it's going to be? How do you think it's going to be?
I think it's going to be sad. I think someone's going to die.
Who do you think is going to die? Predictions.
I don't know. I think it could be MJ.
I think that's a horrible take. I do not think she's going to die.
You don't think so?
They're not going to kill her. They're not going to kill Zendaya.
Or Ned. They could kill Ned.
I don't think they're going to kill Ned either. I don't think it's going to be a main important character, because we already had Aunt May's death in the last movie. And then the whole point of this movie is Peter struggling with his friends being there, but him not even able to talk to them because they don't, or like, you know, they don't remember him. So he doesn't have that like friendship with them.
That would just
so if they
solve
die,
the problem.
well, no, that's horrible. Okay. Why are there no Spider-Man posters? No one's watching that.
Tom Holland was shirtless so much in this movie. We just got out of seeing Spider-Man Brand New Day. We're gonna rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. 3, 2, 1, 9. Hey, okay.
I thought it was really good. Not as sad as I thought it was gonna be, but it was very, very good.
I also thought it was really good. I definitely have some nostalgia for the OG Spider-Man 2, so I do still think that's the best in my opinion, but this is 100%
Really
the
good.
best Tom Holland Spider-Man we've ever gotten, and very close to being just the best Spider-Man we've ever gotten. Like, I wouldn't judge anyone if they said that. I just really, really like the OG Spider-Man.
All aspects of him.
But there's like this had everything. It had the action, it had the comedy, it had the emotion. Super well-rounded. They did an amazing job. Tom Holland was shirtless so much in this movie.
Best part.
Full review on my YouTube channel with spoilers. Go watch that probably tomorrow. Okay, bye.
So it's been about a day or two. I got a little carried away, moved into a new place, new background, unlocked. But I still got some thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day. So spoiler warning, if you haven't seen the movie yet, now's your time to click off. I'm gonna be getting into some stuff. All right, here we go. Like I said, great movie. Is it the best Spider-Man movie of all time? I don't think so. It was still very, very good though. Some things that I really liked about it, I would say it was just the story in general, how they told the story, having, you know, a lot more weight and drama to it. I really, really liked the decision to not let MJ or Ned get their memories back in this movie. I think that would have been a huge disservice to Peter Parker's character growth, but also just the effects of the last movie. One of my biggest pet peeves in movies is when like a character dies or something impactful, weighty, and dramatic happens, and then they just immediately reverse it in like the next movie or something. I hate it when they do that. Or like, oh, which I mean, Marvel is known for killing off characters and then immediately bringing them back. But I like that they let this decision breathe and affect Peter throughout this whole movie. And Zendaya did a great job. I mean, both Tom Holland and Zendaya specifically, I think this is their best performance in the Spider-Man movies yet. John Bernthal's Punisher was also, I mean, I was pretty skeptical on how these two things would mesh, like Punisher being a very gritty, dark, not family-friendly character in Spider-Man, who is arguably the most family-friendly Marvel character there is right now. And they did a great job. Obviously, you don't have Punisher throwing out F-bombs and stuff, but it's still Punisher. You still got the whole character. I think they did a really good job handling it, and also letting Punisher not just be this guy that shows up, but actually be a character in this movie, and he himself has some development, has a little bit of an arc throughout the movie, which was cool of them to do for him. Tom Holland and John Bernthal's chemistry is obviously great. Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. I am so excited for the future of Marvel because of this movie and what they're going to do with the X-Men and the new story that we're going to get. Obviously, this is like Jean Grey's like origin story before, you know, Charles Xavier finds her, before she joins the school and all that stuff. So getting introduced to this character at such an early stage, I think is really going to help when we do get the rest of the X-Men movie, whatever team that looks like after Secret Wars. It didn't feel like her only purpose was just to set up future Marvel projects. Like, they didn't allude at the X-Men or anything like that. She was just a character. They didn't even like really, I mean, they hinted at like, obviously she's a mutant, and they started developing some of that language talking about mutations and stuff, but they weren't just like dropping like, oh, she's a mutant and like things like that. It felt very natural. I know this isn't the first time we've been introduced to mutants in the MCU. I think that was technically Miss Marvel, but I really like how they handled it. She did a great job. I like that she's a bit younger than the previous Jean Grey. Cinematography was, oh my goodness, I genuinely think some of the best cinematography in a Marvel movie overall. 100% the best cinematography in any Spider-Man that we've gotten. I feel comfortable saying that. Some of the coolest shots, and you can just tell how much thought and care was put into this movie from Destin to Tom Holland, and I'm sure the rest of the cast. Like, I saw an interview clip where they talked about the amount of research they did in playing the old Spider-Man PlayStation games and watching the old movies and reading the comics and letting those pieces of art and work influence this movie. And you can 100% tell. There was even some shots that I thought that they were recreating from some of the previous Spider-Man movies. And even though this wasn't a multiverse movie, they didn't really talk about the multiverse that much. Those instances where I feel like they're at least calling or harking back to or referencing a previous Spider-Man iteration or project, that feels like a more multiversal thing to me, and like a sort of a wink at it. You can make the argument that they were trying a little bit too hard. Some of those scenes, the slow-mo like action shots, that it's just like, it felt maybe a tiny bit fan servicey, or like you're just putting this in here because you know we're gonna think it's epic. It doesn't really like feel that natural with the progression of the movie, but it's still epic. I do think it's epic. You got me. And also on the side of their effort to go the extra mile and film on location, I think they were shooting in Glasgow and whatever other places, and doing practical stunts and some practical effects and things like that too. Obviously mixed in with some CGI, clearly. I don't know, when I find out a movie put that much care and effort into doing something like that just because they love it so much, that makes me kind of love the movie even more. On the negatives, and I don't have that many, the biggest thing that like really threw me off was mainly in like the first quarter of the movie. There was so much product placement. Like, oh my goodness, like 5 things in a row: Samsung phone, Liquid IV, Bureau, whatever else there was. Like, there was just a lot of like, the right in your face, like, okay, Peter Parker's just gonna walk by a giant Liquid IV sign. We're gonna get the shot of Tom Holland's Bureau brand like right in front of our face. Like, I get product placement, like it's a thing, I get it, but like be a little bit more subtle or like whatever about it. Like, geez, like even the phone, like phones are not a big deal. Like phones and cars are probably some of the most common product placement things, but there was seriously like just a full shot of the Samsung flip phone, and it's like weird flipped position. Like, okay, you're not being subtle about that. Like, this is an ad. I digress. That was just a little weird for me. It kind of took me out of it, but it was really just the first quarter of the movie that was like really heavy. Oh, Little Caesars too. Major Little Caesars product placement as well. I've had a couple people say to me that they were expecting a little bit more. I was expecting a little bit more of a connection to Avengers Doomsday, but after thinking about it a little bit more, I'm really glad it didn't have a ton of connection to other movies. I really enjoyed that this was very much its own story, and it wasn't relying too much on a cliffhanger or setting up another story. One of Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man 2 is one of its biggest flaws is that a big chunk of that movie is relying on setting up a sequel that ultimately never even happened. And so you have all these unanswered questions, this whole cliffhanger of this second movie with no resolution, and also arguably underdeveloped main storyline. So I really like that this was very much its own contained story aside from building off of the previous Spider-Man projects. Back to positives now. Yelena being in the movie was really cool. Sadie Sink as Jean Grey I think got kind of leaked before I'd seen it, so it wasn't that much of a surprise when they dropped that. But Yelena being in the movie, that was a big surprise for me. Didn't know that was gonna happen. I liked Thunderbolts a lot. I love her character, so that was really cool. Probably one of the funniest scenes in the movie as well. It had a nice ending. It just kind of wrapped up. Jean Grey goes on her way to what we could only assume would be where she'll run into Charles Xavier, I'm assuming, at one point. And there was kind of the little bit with Peter Parker doing the handshake with Ned where we assumed that he got his memories back, or at least starting to get his memories back. I guess, the score, I haven't really thought about it that much, honestly. I saw one video where they were breaking down that the score is kind of the original Spider-Man Homecoming score, but like slightly stripped back to represent the things that Peter has lost in his life, and I thought that was a cool detail. But if I'm being honest, in the movie, didn't really notice. The soundtrack had some cool needle drops, some cool bits and pieces in there, some cool songs, Tame Impala. Overall though, great movie. Best Tom Holland movie that we've gotten. Spider-Man movie. Go see it if you haven't seen it already. If you haven't seen it already, why'd you just let me spoil the whole movie for you? Let me know what your thoughts are on the movie. And alright, thanks for watching. Avengers Doomsday better not suck. Okay, bye.